Question 4. How did you use media technologies in the construction and research and planning and evaluation stages? Photoshop. Within Photoshop, I created my digipack as well as my magazine advert. I believe that by using this program, it made the entirety of my advertisement more exciting and more together. I created the first album cover and magazine advert with the wine bottles, as I thought that this really made my song and the ancillary tasks really link. Photoshop allowed me to get rid of the original name of the wine and add the name of my band to it. This makes the subtleness look great, as it's simple but effective, and I really love the effect of albums. For example, I loved the album The Wall and The Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, because they are so simple and albums that everyone remembers. The only thing that I would have loved to have changed was with having the wine bottles look really prominent at the front of the album, and the brick wall and the blue door behind the bottles a lot more blurry. I then created another album cover and magazine advert with the band members, as my audience felt that it was important quality to have. For the second one, I managed to use an overlay tool. I liked this because I used overlays a lot within my music video, which I believe gave a subtle hint that they're all linked, as well as the obvious hint of the same members in the same clothes. Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is a timeline-based video editing software application that allows you to make much more interesting videos to your audience. I used the program very regularly when it came to editing any of my videos. For example, within the research and planning stages, it was the main program that I used. Within Premiere Pro, I had the opportunity to cut my song down so that it was a little shorter, without any of my audience noticing that the song actually carries on from where I stopped it. I was able to use the exponential fade editing technique on the end of the song, which made it much easier for me to easily make the song shorter and make the filming look more professional, rather than it looking like a load of videos that have just been put together. I've also used transitions between the shots to make it flow a lot nicer. For example, a dip to black works really well because I've used projection videos throughout my video, which makes the overall lighting quite dark. So the dip to black works and makes it much more exciting for my target audience to watch. I've also used an effect called cross dissolve, which made the overlays look a lot better. This meant that they faded out a lot smoother, which makes the overall video flow really well. I was also able to play around with the various sections of each individual clip. I decided to change the brightness to -17 and the contrast to -36 because the clip was quite dark, and changing the two really made it that much more professional and, in my opinion, better. I also added the crop of 7 at both the top and the bottom. I found out from looking at other music videos for inspiration they have a crop, which I personally believe it makes it look a lot better. This is also the same for putting the See Rowe Records 2017 at the end of the video, as many videos had done it like Liam Payne's bedroom floor. However, in this video they actually wrote the word copyright, but I decided to use the symbol because I thought it looked a lot neater and much more simple and tidy. On a few videos I played around with the opacity because I overlaid videos. For example, within the chorus I originally had just a guitar, and when I listened back to the song, even though the chords were right and his hands were moving at the right time, I needed piano. So I shot an extra shot of piano and had it overlaid for the chorus. For all of the videos that I did this, I had the opacity as 65% because it looked better if they were all the same, which is why I made the crop the same, the brightness and contrast the same, and the opacity the same, as it flows really nicely. I was also able to add in black screens where I needed to have breaks to make the other videos flow much better. I also used a title screen to tell the audience the band name and the song name. In order to make all 3 tasks link, I used the same font and the same colours because it looks great when they're the same, as well as the font being readable. After Effects. I used After Effects to create my ident to introduce who I was in the entirety of my research and planning videos. This made the introduction to all of my films look much more professional. For example, there is a glow that flows and develops my name. I love my ident because it is really simple, yet effective and straight to the point to tell my audience who I am. I've also added a very tranquil piece of music behind the ident, which makes the overall ident look so much more exciting and accomplished. YouTube. I used YouTube to post all of my research and planning videos as well as my final music video. By using this platform, it allowed for everything to be viewed quickly and easily. It is a great website to use because millions of people use it every day. This then makes it more likely for my music video to be watched over and over again by various different people. I also used it to look at various different music videos and odd bits for inspiration because it helped me to gather all my various ideas that I have right now, and I feel as though without watching them, my video may not have been as great as it is now. WordPress. I used WordPress to create my blog and to put all of my videos, research and anything else all onto so that it would all be in the same place. It is a great place for all of my work to be seen very easily by various audiences all around the world so that when they watched the final film, they knew what went into the creation of it and what all of my initial ideas began as. The website allows you to choose specific designs that suit you best, so I chose the one that had a sequin light effect at the top. I thought that this really referenced to my music video because that is how the fireworks came out in the end, which I actually loved. The overall look of my blog on WordPress is great because it looks classy and professional. DSLRs. I use this type of camera because I feel as though it was the best one for my project. It allowed me to focus in the foreground and blur the background, which is one of my favourite effects because I think it looks really exciting. It also adds a bit of diversity to all the various shots rather than them all being the same. I could use this when I was shooting my ancillary tasks, which looked great. Within the camera there was a setting for outdoor scenes as well as landscapes and portrait. This meant that I was able to find the perfect setting to use when it came to filming the fireworks. By having the variety of settings, I personally believe that it made my video better, as well as both my ancillary tasks. I also had the chance to use a tripod to ensure that all of the shots within this video were all the same height and looked even. Without the tripod, all of my shots would have been wobbly and not as good as they could have been. However, I didn't use the tripod for all of the shots, only the ones where it was absolutely necessary.